What's up, everybody?
Good afternoon.
Thanks for being here. Hey, Leanne. Good night time to some. Good night. Leanne, what is it? It's 8 o'clock right now, right? Hey, Leanne. Hey, Amber. What's up, Dizzy? Hey, Amanda. Baby Bo Madeline, what's up? Hey, Brittany. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Dizzy. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Laura. What's going on, guys? Debbie. I popped in to make sure my picture wasn't up there. No, Debbie. Although, hey, Sheila, you folks know I don't. I'm gonna pull this up again and Um, let me get this graphic because I don't know half these people. I don't know pretty much any of them, but let me see if let me bring this
Do you
here.
know any of them?
Jodi Arias, I thought I saw. Hold on, let's make
Yeah,
this so we can
you're
see.
right. She's on there.
So this one lady in the bottom left looks like Nurse Ratched to me. Um,
That's Eileen Warnos. She's the most prolific female serial killer.
hold on, let me put this in so we can all see it here. All right, so bottom left to me looks like Nurse Ratched. The one right to the top right of her looks like, if you guys have seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, looks like one of the three guys. They're like they're like, I don't know if they live under the bridge, but like there's like three guys. One of them actually ends up being I think I'm thinking the one who ends up actually being in Westworld. If anyone watches It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who's that, babe? Who's the one that in the short hair?
The very
Um,
short hair with the blue shirt,
yes,
that's Diane Downs.
that's Diane Downs. Okay. And then all the way, I thought all the way to the top right, that looks like Mrs. Doubtfire. Who's that?
It does. Oh my goodness. She's one of like the grannies that killed people. She's, I think, a Black Widow. She's a Black Widow,
She's a
but I
black.
don't remember her name now.
Yeah, the only one I would have known is Jodi Arias. So who's top left?
Another Black Widow.
And Jodi, and then who's to the right?
To the right of Jodie is Betty Broderick.
Okay, and then who's the mullet tour?
One of the accomplices of the blonde lady with the plaid shirt, and I can't remember what their names are either, but they were like Thelma and Louise
Hmm.
together.
And is this the lady with the granny who was with? That's not the lady we watched who was like so happy that she is it?
Yes, that she's the lady we watched the special. They would like bring people in. She would bring people in, like homeless people, and begin collecting their social security. And she, after she murdered them,
Oh right, and they
it
found
was
her
the
all in the
one that like
backyard,
it took them forever to catch her.
and they found her in her backyard.
Yeah, and
Dorothea
people are saying her
Puente.
name's yeah, she's called the Sweet Granny, and her name is Dorothea Puente.
All right. So yeah, well, I was looking at the date, guys. Is this our third members? We did
I
Paltrow.
think this is our fourth.
We did Paltrow, Murdaugh. And what did we do last time?
Um,
Oh, the
Last time
Jesters.
was your birthday. Yeah,
Right.
Jester.
So this is our fourth
This is our
one.
fourth.
Thanks for being here, guys. You know
Law
what?
Nerd Amber brings up such a good point. I didn't have Carla Homolka on there, but Jen modestly coding has a creepy connection with Carla Homolka. So I would like to do a show with her sometime. Definitely. She's free now, I hear.
Um. So today is the 16th, which means tomorrow is the 17th, which means this is 4 months that we've been doing this, babe. 4 full months that I will never forget. The 17th. That was my last day at my shitty job, and now we have our fourth members only exclusive. So, and that's all because of you guys. So, thank you so much for being here and supporting us. I'm in my new chair that I got. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't got that. So thank you so much. And we're gonna be doing. Check this out, guys. We're gonna be doing. I didn't forget. We're not gonna do it yet. I'm gonna wait to see if we get a little more, few more folks on here. But
Yeah,
maybe in the
let's get
mid,
a few more people.
we're gonna in the middle of the stream and at the end. Just wait, folks. We are gonna spin the wheel. We are gonna spin the wheel, and then one at the middle of the stream person will win. Pick whatever item in the merch store you want, sponsored by my mom and dad. And then the second spin at the end, don't forget, or towards the Janique, hey Janique, thanks for stopping in. And then and Shannon is modeling. Let me show is let's. So you could pick that. It is a comfy chair. It is a comfy chair. So that's one of the items that you could win. Thank you, Lan. So check that bad boy out. So 2 folks will be selected today to pick any item from the merch store they want. One sponsored by my mom and dad, one sponsored by me and Shannon. Any item in the merch store that you want. So we will be spinning this wheel. I'm so excited to do it. Hey Debbie, hey Tia, hey Holly. Oh Holly, you remembered me of something I wanted to do. Now I'm really pissed at myself because Holly donated last stream, and because it's not through YouTube and it's through my email, which is a delay. If I'm not checking and I don't get a notification. Usually Shannon does, but if she's not, sometimes we're not paying attention. So what I'm going to ask you, and I'm not asking you guys to donate now today or now or anything. This is like a members only stream. I'm not asking that. In the future, if you do donate, like through Venmo or Cash App, and I'll say this again on Money Win, but put a dollar bill emoji in the chat so I know and I can check and I can shout you out. So Holly, thank you so much last stream for donating, and Laura did too. Both of them did, and I didn't acknowledge them, and I'm sorry, but thank you guys so much. But in the future, if you do, throw a little dollar sign emoji in there so I know to check it out and shout you guys out. So thank you guys. Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. And what was I going to say else? Oh, in addition to doing the raffles for anything you want in the store, I will be doing one raffle for one of these bad boys. Well, let me put it on. A lot of people had requests I make one of these. I'm like, Bob, I can't figure it out. A lot of people asked that I make one of these bumper stickers, or wherever you want to put on your cards, much larger than the ones that I have sent out previously. So I'm going to do I'm going to spin the wheel for these, give out one, and then at that point going forward, anyone who wants one of these bad boys for their car or whatever, just $20, send me a Cash App or a Venmo, and then shoot me an email at theshamingofjay@gmail.com, and just tell me, that you sent me the money, and I will mail it out to you if anyone's interested in one of these for $20. $20 on Venmo or Cash App. So, let's see. Who else did I miss? I saw some new folks coming in. I think, hey, Debbie. Hey, Missy. Hey, Carmela. Thanks everyone for being here. So let's go back to, sorry guys, it's just us right now, and we got our friends who are sometimes a pain in the ass. But the reason that we decided Stream Elements should be on. You know what? Stream Elements might not be on since this is an unlisted stream, so it might not work. If you want, you might have to put in the links because this is a unlisted stream, so Stream Elements probably won't work for this thing. You're welcome, Debbie. What was I going to say? Oh, so we decided to do Women Who Murder This for this month's exclusive because it was supposed to be the trials of Sarah Boone and Taylor Schabusiness. But right now we know that Sarah has been continued. But we're still going to go with the theme. Penny, what are you doing? What I wanted to show for the folks who haven't seen it yet is our Sarah Boone. Not our friend. And this is when the police. This is the body cam from when the police approach Sarah Boone for the first time when they're called to the scene. And if you haven't seen this already, folks, it's something else. So here we go with the. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, obviously, but just a little bit of the beginning here, just for the folks who haven't seen this yet. Here is Sarah Boone when the officer first arrives at the scene.
Hello there. Hi. You live here?
Hey, Elizabeth.
Okay, I'll talk to you. We gotta get some information from the fire department.
The property manager. I don't know if I should go tell him really quick or just so he knows what's going on.
Where is he at?
He's walked that way.
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll take care of that for you, okay?
I had a cigarette lit.
I'll get it for you, okay? Wait 1 second, okay?
I really need something to drink.
Okay,
I got my Dr. Pepper on the counter.
Okay, we'll take care of you. Give me 1 second.
Immediately they're called to the scene. There's someone dead, and all she wants is her cigarette and Dr. Pepper. Yes, this is the
Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper. This is the video from the woman who put her boyfriend in a suitcase and wouldn't open up, and he suffocated and died.
It's Armand too.
Put the time that you called it.
Yeah, I put that right there.
Is that the time you called it? Okay, perfect.
You
You can't go back inside. What's going on? Who is he to you? Boyfriend?
Yes, for like 3.5 years.
What happened?
We drank last night. We had a.
Can you pass this to the around to the FD guys? Stop. They need to sign that for sure.
They're with me, so they're not.
Oh, they're not leaving?
I
Okay.
think I woke her up.
No. Each of them has to, because this might be a real scene. So each of them has to put their name in.
Normally I just put everybody.
Yeah, you call it working.
What's going on?
So
I just got here, so fill me in.
No problem. Like,
Yeah,
he and I were putting a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together.
You are putting a puzzle together?
Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there.
Okay.
We've been doing art, taking stuff off the wall to make new art put up there, like having a good time with one another. But we're drinking. We had a bottle of wine last night.
Okay. Fine.
So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right?
Okay.
So he gets in the suitcase, okay?
Who is this?
I mean, just the matter of fact of we were having a date night. We decided to play hide and seek, and so he gets in the suitcase, right? Like, yeah, right. I mean, you understand, right? Just
Yeah, she totally expects the cop to reassure her and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Then what
Yeah.
happened?"
that makes sense. Keep going on.
That's my ex-husband,
When did the weird thing happen?
my former husband.
How did he lives here with you guys?
No, I called him over here.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So then he came over here.
Here, let's talk in private, okay?
I called you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I tried giving him CPR. The problem is I fell asleep.
When did you do CPR?
This morning when I found him.
Before you called?
Yes.
It's 1 o'clock right now.
I tried. I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at like 12:30ish, whatever. So I came downstairs, and I was like, "Oh, he's in the suitcase still." And that's when I found him, and I took him out. And I tried doing CPR, and then I called him, and then I called you guys.
Did he get here before the fire department got here?
Who?
Your husband or
Yes.
your ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay. Where does he live at?
Right down the street.
Okay. So you were playing and who zipped him up in?
I did, but then I fell asleep.
Okay. You're okay. I wasn't here. I'm just trying to figure out what
I
happened.
fell asleep, so I don't know if he suffocated or like had an aneurysm or a heart attack or
What
what.
kind of medical conditions does he have?
None that I know of.
Nothing that you know of.
None
You
that I
didn't take
know
any
of.
medicine
No.
last night?
No.
No medicine.
All we had was a bottle of wine. Literally, just a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Doing puzzle artwork. Then we decided to play hide and seek.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that happened.
Okay.
So I don't know if he had a heart attack or what in there. Like, I don't know what happened.
So how long were you doing CPR on him prior to you calling 911? You tried that all morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I called him while I was
What
doing
time
CPR.
did you start? Probably, give me a rough ballpark. Here, let me fill this deputy in, okay?
Please, may I have my Dr. Pepper? I am
Hold on,
so
1
cotton
second,
mouth
1
right
second.
now.
She needs her Dr. Pepper.
Ma'am, and you
terrible when
can't
you're
talk
caught
to him
now.
until we get done with
That's
this,
fine.
okay?
Just don't
Or,
leave,
an
okay?
interrogation about the death
Okay.
of someone.
I'll get Lucas.
I know.
Do me a favor. Stand over there by that car. Give me 1 second.
All right, so I wanted to show that a little bit, and I also wanted to show, I think the updated video from Law and Crime has some of the, they show some of the interrogation, but not intentionally. So let's take a look at that.
Leanne, I'm not sure her blood alcohol was tested that day because
and then the games
she
begin.
doesn't go in for interrogation. She goes in for on her own for an interrogation later. So she definitely wasn't arrested that day.
So here's a little bit of the video from Court TV where they show the update and trigger warning. This is a little bit of when she videos him in the suitcase. So if you don't want to watch this, just turn it off real quick. It'll be over.
Mute it for a minute.
Yeah, mute it for a second if you want to mute it.
I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you chewing on me.
Sarah!
You!
Please, Sarah!
Yeah. You should probably shut the up.
Sarah!
This whole suitcase thing has never happened before. Those are the words of Sarah Boone to investigators after leaving her boyfriend George Torres in that suitcase to die. But was death the intent? Prosecutors say so. Here's some more of her police interrogation video. She's confronted about her true intentions.
I thought he was okay. Like, I didn't,
He's telling you he's not. He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe. He's saying your name, and you're like, that's my name, don't wear it out.
Guys, that's how we are with each other. Like, nobody understands our relationship. The whole suitcase thing never happened before.
Would you leave someone else in a suitcase? Would you leave Lucas in a suitcase jokingly? Because it was a joking matter. You put him in there jokingly. Would you leave Lucas jokingly in there? And you love Lucas, right? And you
I wouldn't do that to him either. I wouldn't do that to him.
So I just...
Well, it's not like, again, I don't think you all understand. Like, it's...
I mean...
that was not my intention. Y'all don't have any idea what I've done for him.
But by your acts, and that's exactly right. You get to the point where you've done so much for somebody and they don't show you any appreciation.
He did.
Not by your words in the video. I don't get that.
Yeah, she's taunting him in the video and saying this is what it feels like when you cheat on me. If I'm the prosecution, my theme is going to be revenge.
There are a lot of ways you could, based on her relative, a lot of ways you could do it, but a lot, as you mentioned.
All right, folks. So again, her case has been continued. I think it's on for this week coming up where they have another hearing about it. So, all right, that was the first trial. Go ahead, babe.
It's going to be continued again because they cannot find an expert. The defense can't find an expert that will work for what is the rate given by the state for an expert for a defense because she's not paying for her defense. So unfortunately for, is his name George Torres?
I think so.
Unfortunately for his family and loved ones, I feel like they're just going to drag this out forever. And maybe they're trying to get her to take a plea.
So that was the first trial that was supposed to go on the 24th. And the second one, which I think is still on, but could possibly get, you never know, Taylor Schabusiness. And this is... Penny, what are you doing? Penny thinks it's time to eat, and she's 40 minutes early, and she's just causing a ruckus in here. Sorry. But here is some details on the Taylor Schabusiness case, if you're not familiar with that.
Appears in court after she's charged with murdering and decapitating her lover. Law and Crime Daily Sierra Gillespie joins us now with the latest developments.
The same woman who told investigators they would have fun trying to find all the dismembered body parts of her victim is now ordered a competency hearing before court proceedings can continue. It was 24-year-old Shad Thyrion's mother who found his decapitated head in a bucket at the bottom of her stairway. Investigators say Thyrion's lover, 24-year-old Taylor Schabusiness, is responsible for his murder, sexual assault, and dismemberment. Schabusiness appeared in court virtually on Thursday as her defense attorney motioned for a competency evaluation. But if you blinked, you missed her.
Ms. Schabusiness isn't here today. She doesn't seem to be engaging directly with the court. I can't see her face. I can see her, but she's not looking into the camera. Now she is. All right.
Instead, Schabusiness stood in a cell at the Brown County Jail with her arms crossed. She's being held on a $2 million cash bond. Last month, Schabusiness told investigators she went, quote, crazy when she began choking Thyrion during sex. While she didn't plan to kill him, she said she was, quote, already this far and liked it. After he was dead, she performed sexual acts on Thyrion's body. She later dismembered the remains, putting a leg and foot in her vehicle, but leaving the victim's head behind in a bucket. She told investigators, quote, I can't believe I left the head, though. She also told investigators that she had become paranoid after smoking meth and shooting up trazodone. Schabusiness's attorney requested a competency evaluation, saying he's concerned about her ability to assist in her own defense.
Who's going to represent Ms. Schabusiness in this very important case? And it's getting a little bit confusing. She's making some of these choices to allow it to be confusing on her own. And I'm satisfied that that too gives the court concern or reason to doubt the defendant's competence.
The results of that competency evaluation will be discussed at an upcoming hearing set for April 4th. Schabusiness is set to appear again in court next week on March 22nd.
And that was probably the hearing. Let's find that one where she attacks her attorney. So this peach is really is something else.
An accused killer who attacked her former attorney during a court hearing was found competent to stand trial. Taylor Schabusiness is accused of killing and dismembering her boyfriend last year in Wisconsin. She had pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, but a court-appointed doctor testified during a competency hearing that she is fit to stand trial. A judge accepted the findings.
And the doctor concluded, not only in his testimony but in the report, that there is no indication that Ms. Schabusiness at present is substantially lacking in her mental capacity to understand the pending proceedings and meaningfully assist in her attorney. Therefore, it was the doctor's opinion that she was competent to proceed, and I'm going to make that finding today.
Earlier this year, the 25-year-old attacked her defense attorney in court. A court officer pulled her to the ground, but the defendant made it difficult for him to restrain her.
Clear the courtroom.
That attorney soon requested to be removed from the case. The judge granted the request. Schabusiness was in the courtroom with her new attorney, who requested a new competency exam to be performed on his client. His request was denied, and her trial was scheduled for July. For Inside Edition.
So, that was the second case that, and from what, unless someone tells me different, I think that is still on for July 24th, which is, what is that? That is not this Monday, but next Monday. So, babe, do you want to kind of set up what we're going to watch next? Because those are the two that I had in mind, and Shannon had some others. So,
we're going to wait to do...
Should we do one of them now?
We could do one, like the smallest thing.
Or... I feel like we should do those first, because I don't want someone, if I assume people are more going to want to win pick anything. So should we wait to do that?
That makes sense. So we can just wait a little bit then. Because we only have like 19, 20 people in here.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get much more today. So what?
Okay, well then we can do it now. You don't have to be present to win, or you do.
No, you don't have to be present to win.
Okay. I'm excited about the bumper stickers, and I'm going to be sending them out using my new stamp from Elizabeth L. that is pre-inked.
Yes, everyone knows that now you don't have to stamp those in an ink well. Everyone knows that you can they're pre-inked and you don't have to do anything with them. That's common knowledge. So don't ever, if anyone questions that, they're an idiot. What, babe, did you want to? Let's watch one clip from what you called,
sure.
and then we will do it. We will do a raffle. One clip. So set up what we're gonna watch here.
Okay. Well, first of all, we couldn't possibly fit all the female murderers in that we wanted to fit in today. And with our giveaways, we thought, let's focus on one. So I focused on, this case is like my white whale because it has shades of Wendy Adelson for sure. But it was, I watched the trial and watched some of the coverage at a formative time in my life. So that might be it. But this trial, people are familiar with, most likely. They just had a season of Dirty John dedicated to this crime with Amanda Peet playing Betty Broderick. And it was an excellent season. But there are so many theories surrounding if Betty was, just a Wendy Adelson and she was constantly and first the abuser in the relationship, or if she was a victim of battered woman syndrome. She definitely had proved some of her fiduciary and emotional abuse, although she was also, the prosecution had a lot of bad acts done by her as well. So just a very interesting story. If you're not familiar with it, Betty and Dan Broderick, they got a divorce. It was super messy. Before they got a divorce, he was having an affair with his much younger and just like knockout, gorgeous assistant, his legal assistant. And Betty had 4 children and helped put him through law school. And so they are getting this awful, awful divorce. And he's a lawyer. So it's very similar to the Adelsons, except that she's not a lawyer. So there are many, many motions going on, but she kind of knows a little bit about how to game the system too, because she really helped Dan study in law school. She knows a lot of things. So they have a contentious divorce, and not very long after their divorce, he remarries to his assistant. Her name was Linda Kokina. And she eventually breaks into their home when they are asleep. She goes into their bedroom. They are in their bed. She shoots both of them with a revolver. She yanks the telephone out of the wall and she leaves. And I believe the first person she called is her daughter. Her oldest daughter, Kim, I believe, was the one she called first. So very, very interesting. I mean, I just consume everything about this trial because I just find it so, I can't figure her out.
So where is this? I think this is the first one you sent me. Where do I'm
Jen!
Oh, hey, Jen. Where did you want me to start? At the beginning on this, babe? Or?
Do I have a timestamp above it?
What?
Like, did I text a little timestamp right above that link? Let me see.
329?
Yeah, 329.
Hopefully this is the right one.
Because this is Betty talking about the crime itself.
Do you remember what did you...
Yeah. She took the stand. This is gold.
Here we go, folks.
Do you remember what happened when you first went into the door of the bedroom?
Well, I hardly even got in. I opened the door and I stepped into the bedroom, like one step.
What did you do at that point?
Well, I was gonna say, Dan, wake up, I have to talk to you.
Did you say something?
I don't know.
What happened at that point?
I walked in and they moved away from me toward the other place, and I heard Linda say, call the police.
Now, do you remember them talking to you at all? Saying something to you other than...
No, nobody said anything to me, I don't think.
Okay. And what happened when they went towards... What's the next thing you remember after they went towards the phone and said, call the police?
I kind of like screamed, like this huge scream, like, no! And the gun went off, and I just remember one time and one noise. But I know that I must have done that because you have to do that on the gun. But it was so fast. I just went, ah!
Now, did you scream out loud?
I felt like I made a huge scream, but I don't know if I made any noise. It was just all sensation. You move in, and then they moved, and then it was this huge explosion and scream and all at once.
Do you remember actually pulling the trigger?
No.
Is that a gun where you have to pull the trigger?
Yes, I asked people that day, do you have to pull the trigger? And they told me that you had to, but I don't remember pulling it even the first time.
But you remember a large bang?
Yes.
Okay. What's the next thing you remember after that?
Was grabbing the phone so that he couldn't get on it because Dan was trying to get on the phone, and grabbed the phone, and I tried to get out of the room, and it kind of jerked, and I jerked it back and pulled it out of the wall, and I think I threw it on the top of the stairs. I don't know. I may have just put it there.
Now, after you heard the boom, were you out of bullets?
I assume so, yes.
And how did you know that?
Because there was no more noise and the gun was clicking.
Okay. Did you hear the gun click?
I don't remember the gun clicking, no.
Okay.
I just know that there was this huge noise and then there was no more noise.
And then after the noise, when you said the gun was clicking, was that after the noise? The clicking sound of the gun?
I guess.
Okay. Was there any reason that you were scared that Dan was going to grab the phone?
Yes, because every time I went to talk to him, he'd call the police and have me arrested on the restraining order for trying to talk to him, for being within 100 yards of his house.
And now at that point in time when you left, do you know whether anyone was hit?
No, I thought Dan was after me.
Okay. Did Dan say, do you remember Dan sitting up in bed and saying, okay, you've shot me, I'm dead?
No.
Have you ever said that? Have you ever repeated that to anybody?
I know Lily says I said that. So I must have said that, but I heard Lily say I said that. I don't remember that.
Okay, and have you repeated it since then to people?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because Lily said I said it, and it must have happened. Or I must have said it.
Eventually turn yourself in that day.
Yes.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Sheila.
And were you taken to jail
Hey,
after you were arrested? Were you taken
Yes,
after you turned yourself in? Were you eventually taken to Las Colinas?
Yes.
Okay.
You can stop her right here, babe.
And have you had conversations with
I believe that people were asking, I'm pretty sure this is the 1992 trial. She had two trials, one in 1990, one in 1992. The first was a mistrial because of a hung jury. The second, she was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder. They could not convict her of first-degree murder because they could not prove that she planned it. Her defense was that she went over to take the gun. She broke into the house, which she had done many times. They had a restraining order against her. She wanted to make Dan listen, is what she said. And then she also told a story later on that she was going to kill herself in front of them in order to, show them how badly that they had messed with her. So those are the different stories that she's told over the years. She's been up for parole once in 2010, and she was denied parole. She does not have any remorse, according to law enforcement and to the parole board. So she will again come up for parole, I believe, 2032.
Wait, she was found guilty?
Yes, my love.
What are you doing? Why would you just spoil that for us?
Babe, we are not going to watch the whole thing.
You just spoiled it. I didn't know she was guilty. Oh, this is outrageous. Sorry, everyone. So sorry if you didn't know about that.
I'm sorry, babe. This did happen in 1992. Like, we've had enough time to look this up.
Well, first of all, now you're adding tone to what you just did, so this is a little much during our members only stream to do this to me, but nonetheless, let's power through. This is
you're gonna do one more clip.
I'm gonna do one more clip, and then we'll do the giveaway. And while this is playing, I'm gonna feed these idiots. Otherwise, they're gonna friggin'. This one does not have a timestamp, though, babe.
No, this one's okay to start where it starts, but I was just gonna tell you guys, this is her on Cross, and I just wanted to show this because she has a completely different attitude on Cross than she does have on Direct. So this is really the Betty personality, and she is a character.
All right, while this is going, I'm going to feed these dummies so they don't bother us for the rest of the time.
Okay.
Well, the only way I know how to describe it now is that there was all these thoughts just churning in my head.
It's not the right clip? Let me try again. The
I
second
thought
one?
this is where... The second one is on Cross about her marriage.
Betty, let me click on it again. Let's see.
Okay.
Should be.
Yeah, I think you were stayed on the same one.
Remorse.
This is it.
Well, those
Okay,
her
this is the
words.
remorse
Yes.
clip.
If that's what she thought.
Can you page down a little bit on the right there? The marriage was a disaster from day one. There you go.
To other people that the marriage was a disaster from day one.
Dan was a control freak, and he had control in this marriage. As long as I didn't fight it, it was okay with me.
Now, okay, but if we're talking about after separation, let's say you've already separated. You already know now what you think about the marriage. When you talk to Dr. Goldspan, when you talk to Mr. Hargraves during the divorce, when you talk to Dr. DeFrancesca, when you talk to Dr. Robinson, you described your marriage as being a wonderful, ideal marriage.
As long as it worked, it was. As long as I went along with this ridiculous plan that I was in, it worked. It wasn't fair.
You didn't qualify that at all when you talked to these people. You said it was a wonderful, ideal marriage until Linda came along. So your anger at Dan Broderick after the separation is what made you change your feelings about whether or not you'd had a good marriage before the separation, correct?
Right.
It is true that you had discussed divorce on many occasions with Dan Broderick during the course of your marriage.
I don't know. No, we didn't discuss divorce.
You threatened divorce on many occasions.
The same way I've been said to have threatened to kill him, yes.
Well, you didn't just threaten to kill him, you did kill him.
Well, and we did get a divorce.
Yes. And you threatened divorce even in the first year of your marriage, didn't you?
And probably to kill him in the first year of my marriage, too, yes.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Elizabeth Ann Broderick, guilty of the crime of murder.
Elizabeth Broderick sat calmly with the hint of a smile on her face as the
so
clerk announced the verdict of guilty of murder. But there were several anxious moments before they said it was murder
Good thing
in the
he's not
second
here
degree.
for this, because this would have been a big spoiler for him.
As murder in the second degree. Victim, Daniel Broderick.
There was no mistaking the smile as she heard it was second-degree murder in the deaths of both Dan and Linda Broderick.
Yeah, she smiles during the verdict when she
allowed
gets
the voices in my head to completely take over.
parole
I
hearing.
heard all the past voices of all the bad things from my parents and my kids and Dan and everybody else, and I'm this horrible.
All right, you said I could pause this?
Yep.
All right, who's ready to spin the wheel?
I'm so excited.
Failing.
Ready to spin the wheel. Let me play the old clips here. 1 second. Let me get the Sorry, I don't know where hold on, I gotta get the sound effect that I had, but I have so many of these freaking sound
No whammies, babe.
Oh, there it is. All right, folks. Here we go. The first person to win any item from the store that they want, any item sponsored by Team Maggie, my parents. Here we go. Crystal McFarlane. Not sure what their name is on here, but we will let them know that they won the first ever merch item. Crystal McFarlane.
Congratulations, Crystal.
Good job. Should we just do the second one now?
Sure.
And then do the bumper sticker one at the end?
Yes.
All
Great
right.
idea, babe.
All right, here we go. Second. Oh, and I should remove, right, Crystal? So Crystal can't win again.
Good job.
All right. All right, folks. And for the second winner, this one's sponsored by me and Shannon. Here we go. Denise K. Denise K. Two big winners.
Hey, another big winner.
And actually, while we're doing this, let me do. Where am I? I got some more. Bring the jury. So let's do some more.
All right.
Let's do some. And these folks I won't remove. I'll keep them on for the final bumper sticker. So let's do a bring the jury. Bring the jury. Here we go. I'll do a couple of these because I don't want Shannon to get more carpal tunnel from having to write all these notes. So here we go. Bring the jury. Bring the jury. Hopefully it's someone who has not won a bring the jury already. But if not, you'll have two. Abigail. And let's do one more of those.
Okay.
If Abigail wins again, she just doesn't get another one of these. So
gotcha.
We'll just do it again. Rosalind. All right. So, and then at the end, we will do one more for one of the bumper stickers. Let me show them again. Again, after this, if you don't win one, if you want one, $20, just send it to my Venmo or PayPal. I'm not PayPal, my Venmo or Cash App. If you are interested in one of these JBN bumper stickers, and then just shoot me an email with your info, and we will mail them out.
Can you kind of try to show how big it is to scale, honey?
That's what she said. Yes, I can. How do I?
How about like next to the bring the jury sticker, which is like a regular laptop size sticker. It's like, yeah. So it's large.
So this is for your car. If you want to throw, a lot of people said they wanted the, instead of like one that was longer on the bumper, they wanted one like to put somewhere, I guess, on the side of your car or somewhere else. So we'll do one at the end of this. And then if you want one, shoot me $20 on PayPal. Not PayPal, stupid. Venmo or Cash App.
Venmo or Cash App. And then also make sure that you get us your address on our email.
theshamingofjay@gmail.com. All right, babe, what do you want me to do? One of the other clips that you had set up here?
Sure.
Let's see what we got. on the cross on marriage, that one, or about that day, or remorse?
Let's go to her.
Oprah.
Let's go. We already did cross on marriage. Go to Kim. So this is her daughter, Kimberly.
Kim Broderick.
Yes.
They
And
are.
this, I just want to show the stark difference of, somebody who is talking about Betty rather than what Betty says about Betty.
Yes, they are. Stick on, Leanne. The reason I don't prefer PayPal is they take some out of there, and I'd prefer not to have that taken out.
Remorse. Were those her?
That's the Betty one.
Oh, well, this is. I mean, oh, here, this one.
I can't see because you're on the wheel.
Hold on.
The prosecution then turns to the day of the shooting. Kim Broderick at school.
That's the right one.
Broderick at school in Arizona.
Why is it still on the?
Go away, wheel.
Broderick at school in Arizona received 2 calls from her younger sister Lee.
Do I go to
who
the
was
beginning?
with
Where
their
do I go?
Nope, you were fine right there. I
mother.
believe.
And what did your mom say as you called?
I asked her what had happened, and she said that she went over there and that she shot, but she wasn't sure if she hit anybody. And then she said, okay, I don't know what she said first, but then she said, you know I had to do it, honey. I couldn't let him win. But one of us had to go. It was one or the other. I couldn't handle what he was doing to me and you all anymore. He was destroying us. You know I had to do it.
Kim Broderick's stark portrayal of her mother will be a tough one for the defense to challenge. But defense attorney Jack Early uses his cross-examination to suggest that Kim Broderick is biased against her mother.
You talked about the time when your mother used to talk about divorce and ask who you were going to go with. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And you used to tell your father you were. Did you used to tell your father you were going to go with him?
He said you don't have to answer that.
Did you then?
I think I told him. Dad and I didn't talk about it that much, but I think I did tell him once that I wanted to live with him.
When you were brought over to your father's house to live, you thought it was inappropriate for your mother to have you live with your father. Is that correct?
No, I thought it was inappropriate for her to single me out and kick me out of the house.
So you wanted to stay with your mother?
Well, I thought if she didn't want the children that she should handle it differently and maybe talk about it rather than pack up and ship somebody out.
Sometime after the homicide, did you ever tell somebody that you felt it was your job to come to court and tell a different story than your mother was?
No, I did not.
Did you ever say that there was a need for a different version to come out than your mother was giving?
No, I said that Mom wasn't telling the truth and that I was going to have to go to court and testify because Mom wasn't telling the truth. That's what I said.
So it's you felt that that was your function to come in and tell what the truth is. Is that correct?
Not my function, but if no one else was there, then and I'm the only person who would know, then I assumed that I would have to come in and do that.
Later, Jack Early questions Kim Broderick about her testimony in the last trial and if she knew about the relationship between her father and Linda Coquina.
You remember being asked a question about Linda's name being brought up.
You can stop here, babe.
But it was never fact. Never.
We're trying to figure. Debbie is trying to figure out if she wants to sponsor. Whoops, wrong. Sponsor something. That would be great. Like, what if you had something in mind, Debbie?
She says she'll buy a mug to give away or stickers.
If you want, I mean, did you want to like give $20 towards a You tell me. I'm not sure. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe. What were you gonna
I was just going to say that I haven't watched the entire first and second trial. I've watched all of Betty's testimony, and I really want to go back and watch all of this trial now and the first trial. But interestingly enough, Lee, the oldest daughter, Dan did not have her in his will. He took his daughter, out of his will because he was angry with her. He felt that she wasn't living her life the way he wanted her to. So the 3 other children inherited, but Lee was not to inherit. I believe that the 3 other children pooled money and gave it to Lee. After all,
Oh my God! Sorry? I feel like the chat is down again. We got like 25 people here, and YouTube can't handle the freaking chat. I just tried to type. I'll spin the wheel for Debbie, who wants to sponsor a bumper sticker. So that's awesome. But go ahead. I'm sorry. If guys, you're not blocked. I think the stream is still up. This is just another freaking YouTube thing where I just tried to type something and it says error. Try again. Do the dogs want to go out?
yes, but it's pouring.
Okay.
So they're just going to have to chill.
The chat should come up again shortly, guys. Sorry.
I was just saying that
About this trial. You wanted to watch it to the end?
I want to watch it. Oh, Dan. So there are some bad facts about Dan out there. So I would like to watch it now, especially to see some of her claims may have been valid, that it was a destructive relationship for both of them, and he was not wholly innocent of abuse. I'm not saying, obviously, that he would deserve to die in any way, but I just thought that was interesting that he disinherited his child.
Folks, Debbie has graciously offered to sponsor another. You can spin the wheel again. For the JBN bumper sticker, she's gonna sponsor this. So, thank you so much, Debbie. And who's ready to spin the wheel again? Thank you so much, Debbie. Debbie's about to sponsor for this JBN bumper sticker. So who's ready? Should I wait? Debbie just said be right back. Debbie, let me know when you're back. Because I don't want, if you're not here, I want you to be here. Debbie is awesome, and that's so nice of her to do, to sponsor. Oh, she's still here. All right, Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel for the sponsored prize from Debbie. She's awesome. Let's set this up here. All right, who's ready? Let me play the. All right. Buckle up, Buttercups. Here we go. And I didn't do one.
For us yet, right? Just our regular
from
bumper
us. All
sticker
right,
giveaway.
Let's do the one from Debbie. Here we go. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. My mom. All right, we'll do that again. That was that was for my mom. Don't worry, I'll give her
Bob
one
would
for
say
free.
that was rigged.
Let me remove that. Let me remove my mom. I will give her one for free. Don't worry. But I don't think she's going to put it on her car, guys. I don't think she's going to put it on her car. So let's do it again. And she is. I should have removed her earlier. Here we go again. She already sponsored a prize. Here we go. Oh! Hey, Fee! Thank you so much, Debbie. That was so kind of you. Afy, she's gonna be freaking pumped. I know it. Let me remove her. And might as well just do the one from us now, right? I mean, let's do it. Let's do it. This is gonna be the one from us. Buckle up, buttercups. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, Dixie! Is she here? I don't know if she's here.
Oh, Dixie Joe?
Dixie Joe.
Babe, did you see that, what Aaron said, that Steve and Dan's grandmother should get a sticker for free?
That's true. That's true. She's going to get one for free. Don't worry.
Oh, Publicly Buzzed has just sponsored a sticker giveaway, a bumper sticker giveaway.
They did?
Yeah. Steve said, check your Cash App. Our son, Steve.
Oh, I'm so proud of my baby boy. He's all grown up, and he's helping us out here. Oh, it didn't come through yet, but I'm going to... thank you so much. Let's... Oh, there... Steve, they're $20. $20. But we're going to... Steve has sponsored one, and let's spin the wheel for another bumper sticker. Here we go. Sponsored by Steve, my son. BZ49. BZ49.
Okay, BZ49.
Thank you, Steve. I'm so proud of my son. What a respectful young man. And sponsoring that. Thank you so much. My son, Steve. All right. That's all right, Steve. Thank you so much, Steve. Got it. All right, Steve. He's the best. He's the man. Let's put the public. Well, everyone here is, I'm sure, following Publicly Buzzed. Thank you so much, Steve. You're the man. Debbie, you're the woman. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. What else did we want to play?
That was so kind.
That was really so nice. Thank you guys so much. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of all we had. Oh, what else did you have?
Sweetheart, did I have one more or no?
I think you had the Oprah clip. You want me to play the Oprah clip?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so this is about a year. So this is, I think, 9 months after she's convicted. She goes on Oprah. She can't stay out of the news, folks, for a while. Like Women's Day interviews her. She's on Oprah. So it's so interesting.
All right, here we go.
And I gave you a timestamp, didn't I?
Oh, you did? Hold on.
I think.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Oprah's like, hey, girl, you have some bad facts against you. And so she's going to ask her
Betty,
about
I have to move the story along a little bit. Those of us who have been following this story understand that in the midst of your frustration, you did some things that exhibited your frustration. Going to his house, going to your ex-husband's house, Dan, with the pie.
Wait, I thought she was guilty.
She is guilty, honey. They let her she's in a women's prison.
She's in prison?
Yes, and they let her do this interview.
Wow.
They did an interview with her. You've got to look her up. She even they came in and took photos of her cell. She's longingly looking out the window in one of them. I mean,
during his closet with the pies, you did that. Is that true?
But these are incidents in the marriage. This is 1983.
Okay.
You're talking about.
Okay,
and this
but
is,
I want to get this
and
up.
I didn't bring a cake there. Linda made a cake.
But you smeared the cake all over his clothes. Is that correct?
I smeared it on his bed, and it was a little 8-inch cake. That's true. I did.
Okay.
Did
you go to the house with spray paint at one time too? Listen.
No, but that's what the prosecution and Larry Broderick and everybody wants you to think. But no, I did. I
never
didn't do
went
that.
to the house and spray painted the walls, or did it?
No.
You did try to drive the car through the door, did you not?
I did purposely, and, you know, I did bang my car into his door. I didn't try to drive it through anything. I banged my car into his door the day that he sold the family home, the only home we've ever owned that had my name on it and his name on it. He sold it in court without notifying me in any way, shape, or form. And I went to his house and said, "How did you do that? You can't do that." And he told me I had 10 seconds to get off his property.
So then you got in the car.
And I looked at that house as the only asset. It was indeed the only
This, by the way, is sponsored by Aquanet, this entire thing.
asset that had my name on it. Nothing else did, ever. Dan was fully in control of all the money.
And so you became so frustrated, and in the midst of trying to court battles for the children, and I know you wanted your sons. Take us to the morning that you went to Dan and Linda's house, Betty. What was going through your mind the morning you went to that house?
What was going through my mind the morning of that house is the whole world fell in, and it was a combination of every single injustice and indignity and horror that I had experienced as the victim of Dan and Linda Kolkina since 1983. It was totally unnecessary for them to have abused me and my children as much as they did. We did nothing in life to deserve to be treated so badly.
But you see, you say you're abused. They're not here to speak for themselves. From everything that I've heard and read, they felt abused. They felt you calling and leaving obscene messages and you not leaving them alone. There was a point when Linda had even asked Dan to wear a bulletproof vest on the day of their wedding, and they hired guards because they feared you physically. But you didn't fear them physically. You just feared them, what, intervening in your life?
Look at that fucking TV. State-of-the-art technology. Look at that fucking TV.
I mean, you know it's state-of-the-art. It's on Oprah.
I know.
Life. Intervening in what life? They had Dan and Linda controlled every cent of the money. Dan's name was on the house I was living in, on the car that I was driving, and he had sole custody, no visitation of my children.
You just said yourself here, and I'm just trying to speak for them since they're not here. You said yourself that the money wasn't the issue. You were getting, at this point, $16,000 a month.
Correct.
My safety was my issue.
$16,000 a month? For what?
Babe, that was spousal support. That was not child support.
And this is in 1992? If I do the math, that's equivalent to $1.1 million a month, guys. That's fucking crazy.
$16,000 a month, babe.
$16,000 a month she got in 1992? Or 1980?
Yeah, 1989.
Holy shit.
I was unsafe in the world. I had nowhere to live. I had nothing to drive. That $16,000 was only until further order of the court, and he got his first order of the court to quit it within 30 days of getting that order.
Okay, Betty, so you went to the house that morning.
I love how Oprah's so dismissive. Okay, Betty.
Well, and the best part is if you go back and watch this whole thing, when Oprah says, "Betty, we've got to move this story along," that's because Betty is just telling over and over how abused and how terrible it was. And these things, I mean, they don't seem to be abusive when you're like, it's fiduciary abuse, but you're getting $16,000 a month. I didn't have anything to drive. Well, you were used to a certain type of, lifestyle that you maybe couldn't live anymore now that you're divorced, but who doesn't that happen to? So.
Well, Madeline has confirmed my math was indeed incorrect. It was not $1.1 million. It's $39,000 a month. If I do that times 12 in my head, that comes out to like $24 million a year, guys. That's a lot of money.
To do what?
To talk to Dan. I had gotten another set of legal threats. They were threatening to take me to court, threatening to throw me in jail, threatening to keep me from talking to my sons.
Why did you carry the gun if you only wanted to talk?
I didn't exactly carry the gun. The gun was in the car, and I did consciously bring it. But Oprah, these are not the bigger subjects here. I mean, I did bring the gun as a way to make Dan and Linda listen to me. For the first time in this whole thing, I couldn't prevail in court no matter what. Dan was the kingpin in this town legally.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but Betty, two people are dead.
Every time I went to his house to talk to him, and that's what I did every time he had me cornered, I went there to talk to him. And before, if he saw me coming, he'd call the police and have me arrested. For instance, the day that he sold the house, I went there to talk to him.
Okay.
The day that I owed him $1,300 a month, I went to talk to him.
Okay.
And he had me arrested.
Okay.
Whoa.
But that
these
morning
outfits.
the gun was in the car. You
So he had her
consciously took the
arrested
gun out
because
of the
there was
car.
a
You went
restraining
up the
order
stairs.
against her because she had drove her car into the house. She repeatedly left very, very vile, and they play those in the court, very vile phone messages. And they have some recorded calls with like her son Rhett, who I think was like 4 or 5 at the time. And she's like, daddy's with that CUNT, isn't he? And I mean, she's just like, it's real bad. So yeah, he had her arrested because she was violating the court orders. And when she owed him the $1,300 a month, that's because he was taking care of the children at that time, and that was her child support. But he was still paying spousal support during that time. So she could have just taken it out of her cool $16,000 a month. But things are, really different. So I'd like to revisit all of this. But Betty is just fascinating to me because basically now she still is like, yeah, I'm glad that son of a bitch is dead. She still cannot just say, something different could have happened, etc. She won't say any of that. So they will not parole her. I don't know if she will change her mind in 10 years, but she hasn't yet.
I was just trying to see if I could find those phone calls, but the only one I could see is were they like what would they do?
Answering machine.
There's just this one to the sister. That's not what we want, right?
Betty Broderick to Dan's sister. I'm surprised they don't have them singled out.
Oh, is that the lady that was in the thing that we were looking at?
Yes, she killed her children, though.
Oh.
Yeah, for a man. A boyfriend that she wanted to be with.
Oh, I did want to pull up some folks, and I've never seen this before. Sarah Boone wrote some
She
letters.
has a lot of letters.
I know
to
someone
the
else
judge.
to pull this up, so let's see the letter. You guys ready to see the letter? Aggressively addresses judge. All right.
We're getting a closer look inside the mind of Sarah Boone, the woman accused of murdering her boyfriend by zipping him up into a suitcase. In another series of handwritten letters sent from jail, Boone calls out her defense attorney, arguing she hasn't heard from him in months as her case inches closer to trial. She also sends a message to the presiding judge saying, quote, "My case has turned into an unnecessary witch hunt," and later asks, quote, "What's your cut?"
Why are you allowing numerous care, safety, and protection elements to be breached, violated, manipulated? Why has a gag order never been implemented? My care has turned into an unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my care details being leaked and racketeered illegally. Wow. Let's see what else we got there.
She actually asked the judge what his cut of the
In exchange for website hits, viewer ratings, etc., exchange for money. What is your cut, Your Honor? What is your cut, Your Honor? Holy shit. You choose who knows what, where, and how in your courtroom. When did court minutes become live? Are you the one who authorizes the upload to the internet? It's all about how much rather than how did it happen. No matter the destruction caused in the meantime and is irreparable. It's not even about the suitcase anymore. I'm sorry, honey. My case is now a global event with the video receiving over 3 million. I like how she writes out 3 million and then writes it out. 3 million hits depending on the website, in turn making me realize that's over 3 million less unprejudiced, unbiased, non-discriminatory fair jurors I will have access to on my case. How is that going to work? Now what? Imagine writing this letter to a fucking judge.
What?
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah. Year-old murder. At the time, Boone told investigators she and Torres had been drinking. I will be is bliss correctly for all previously. Clerk's website enclosed letter references the missing pages and a report, writing in part, quote, "The enclosed letter I sent, 3/22/23, was scanned incorrectly on the clerk's website. Only the first and third page, so I am resending with nothing on the backs to avoid confusion, and were missed previously. Thank you for reading my entire letter and uploading correctly for all the world to read. Also critique and judge wrongly and incorrectly as usual. Ignorance is bliss." Boone goes on to write, quote, "I wonder what platform of popularity I will be featured on next, and how much wasted time, effort, and thought will be put into mutating and grossly exaggerating my case information, racketeered to the World Wide Web. SMH or shaking my head." She ends that portion of the letter saying, "Shout out to my supporters," with a heart drawn next to it. She signs the letter,
Who the fuck is her supporter?
"Hopeful no matter what." In Boone's most recent letter, dated May 15th, she addresses both the case's judge, Wayne C. Wooten, and attorney Frank Bankowitz. She writes to Judge Wooten in part, quote, "My truth needs to be heard, and it is my right. Do not give me rights expecting me not to fully utilize them. I voted for the president and governor while here in jail, and stop violating what I've been trying to utilize or less the value of my
before you're
capabilities
convicted
and
of a felony.
I am not apologetic
You're not
in
convicted
any
of a
way for
felony.
being an observant, hardworking, above average, non-stereotypical inmate. I can only imagine sadly how others not as outspoken as myself have been and are being mistreated, overlooked, and dehumanized." She writes in all caps, "Get it together." She
That wasn't in
continues,
all
quote,
caps.
"When I've tried to voice my legitimate concerns to you in the courtroom, 5 times total in 3.3 years, and in my letters to, quote, save it for my next attorney if told anything at all. Do tell your honor, which attorney?" According to the letter, Boone's representation has switched 6 times for both irreconcilable differences between the attorney and client and conflicts of interest. In this portion of the letter, she writes out a list of statistics for Judge Wooten, pointing out court-appointed attorney Frank Bankowitz has answered 0 of her phone calls over more than 7,000 hours of representation. Boone later writes, quote, "Are you allowing/enabling my constitutional rights to be continuously violated?" Boone then writes out what she calls a history lesson for everyone, referencing amendments she feels are appropriate to highlight. She continues, quote, "Why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be breached, violated, manipulated? Why has a gag order never been implemented? My case has turned into an unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my case details being leaked and racketeering illegally in exchange for website hits, viewer ratings, etc., in exchange for," and she writes 3 money symbols. "What is your cut, Your Honor?" It's not even about the suitcase anymore. My case is now a global event with the video receiving over 3 million hits depending on the website, in turn making me realize that's over 3 million less unprejudiced, unbiased, non-discriminatory, fair jurors I will have access to on my case. How is that going to work? Now what? Boone then addresses Bankowitz, saying their last meeting was...
By the way, think about this letter and how she's talking about how like shitty she's being treated. And then think about how we learned in Zach's interview that he got his fucking elbow broken and like people were paid to like beat him up and we didn't hear a fucking word from Zach. Not one word.
Was February 15th. She writes to Bankowitz in part, quote, "Please see from my perspective the botched, eye-rolling experience I'm going through still and how I believe anyone would act or do if in my slides doing the same. What would you do? Do not fault me in trying to make the best, most successful outcome possible for myself in every aspect in the convoluted predicament I am in and have been in over the last 3.3 years. I would rather be called a narcissist, pain in the explicative, arrogant, strange, or whatever else anyone wants to waste their time to think of. Just don't call me a murderer, which I am not. No one knows me except for the ludicrous insanity that's been made up, mocked, edited, and spewed all over the internet. It's not me. Boone is due back in court on July 11th for...
Whew.
I mean, she's quite the creative writer.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, she uses the ellipsis, right? She knew it was only 3 dots. I see a lot of mistakes with that, but she had some great spelling. She really had some really creative adjectives. 5 out of 5 for that.
I mean, again, it goes to who were we talking about this again? What was where these people think they're speaking and think they're writing things, and when they're writing them and speaking them, these narcissists, they think this person's gonna receive this letter and think, wow, she is so right. We need to fix what we're doing here because she wrote this fucking letter. Like, these people in their minds just think that they're just so brilliant. Oh, what's his name? Fucking Michael Turney just thought he was just his letter to like
Yes.
the state or whatever. Like, he just thought he was just so great, and everyone was gonna
Right.
get that letter and be like, oh well, now we have to fix what we're doing here. We're in the wrong. It's just crazy.
They grossly overestimate their intelligence, but they also grossly underestimate the intelligence of everyone else. So she won't know about this stream though because it's members only.
We could send it to her.
We could. I mean, she wants to know. She needs to know. She wants to add it to her racketeering case.
All right, folks. Well, I think we didn't have much else to do here. Maybe I'll do a couple more. Are you okay, babe? You have to write the notes.
Babe, I'm good. I'm good.
So who wants to do, for the final act here, let's do a couple more brang the jury. Let's go back to the old wheel. And then let's put the brang the jury sticker on there. Who's ready? Big money. By the way, thanks again so much, Steve, my son. And thanks again, Debbie, for sponsoring those stickers. You guys are too kind. Thank you so much. So here we go. Brang the jury. Let's see. Big money. Let's see who wins this one. Here we go. Oh, wait. I don't have it on the fucking thing. Here we go. Here we go.
No whammies.
Oh, Cannon.
Amazing. Okay.
Laura has a question.
I had a question
Where
about the New Girl stationery. All of my stationery. So I have, this is Ted Lasso. I have Ted Lasso. I have Law and Order, and I have New Girl stationery. Were made by a creator on Etsy called Hangry Creates, like hangry when you get hangry. But unfortunately, she moved to the UK and is no longer shipping to the States her paper goods. So she has some digital stuff that's pretty cool. And I bet if you contacted her, she might do the New Girl, like a digital print for you. She's great.
Hey, Dr. Artie, welcome. You're about to be entered in this contest, and I'm about to spin this wheel. Let's see. You may win a Brang the Jury sticker. Big money. Here we go. Thank you. Oh, my son! Oh, wait, no, it wasn't my son's. It was Sunday, whoever Sunday is.
Why did you think it was your son?
Because look, it's like right above. You don't see that there? Hold on, let me show you.
Oh, okay, I do. I was looking for the biggest bird.
Oh, no, my other son.
Right.
My red bearded son.
Gotcha. So that was who? I'm sorry, Sunday?
Sunday. I can look.
Sunday.
I can look it up, so don't worry.
Okay, my love.
We will shoot them an email. So I guess that's it. Did you guys have anything you wanted us to go? Any questions for us before we end And the old stream. We will be back on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, 8:45 a.m. for the Melly trial. And then 7 p.m. we will continue the Arizona versus Michael Turney, Alyssa Turney case, which is going to be wrapping up shortly. We may have closings. We may have closing arguments tomorrow.
And I'll be on with you in the evening tomorrow.
Yes, Shannon will be with me as we watch the what we missed during the day from the Alyssa Turney trial. So I don't know. Do you guys have any questions for us before we? Thank you so much for being here, everyone. We really appreciate it. But that's kind of what we had here. But and then we gotta. If you guys have ideas for our next one, let us know. Closing by the 20th. Okay. I don't think they have any witnesses because they were talking about him potentially testifying, and he ain't testifying. No way.
And they said if he doesn't, the defense attorney, remember, babe, he said, and if he doesn't,
will we go straight to closings?
Will we go straight to closing?
And the judge said after lunch.
By noon, right? After lunch, yeah.
Yep. So, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for being here, guys. We really appreciate you.
This was so fun.
And we'll try to, use this wheel for more stuff. Guess the number of outfits. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. You have something, babe?
If you want a prize, make sure you email us either theshamingofjay@gmail.com or shannonshaming19@gmail.com with your address. And you also may need to tell me who you are. Because I wrote down, Denise K, and maybe you're Niecy K, I think is hers. So just remind me of your YouTube name and stuff because I like to write a little note to you and I want to know who you are.
But and thanks again for our sponsors, Steve and Debbie. You guys, that was really nice of you. We really appreciate that. And again, if you are interested in these, Venmo or Cash App, $20, and just shoot me over your address, and we will send it out. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.